we've had the benefit of being in the equipment and furniture business with occupiers for a fairly long time before the pandemic, and now 4 years of post-pandemic. Can you give us some insight into how those relationships between corporate real estate, interior planners, senior leadership within company, how those relationships have changed, and how do you feel those people are doing today? I mean, has this become a much more anxious activity within the business? And
well,
give us some insight there.
I definitely think there's risk, right? So there you can sense the risk on the corporate real estate team's face. That like, oh gosh, are we making the right investment? Does this investment make sense? I host our podcast, which is called About Place, and we had Matt Boyle, who leads the future of work reporting for Bloomberg, on last season, and he said something to the equivalent of a black eye in real estate lasts 10 years because that's the length of the lead. So you get that kind of vibe sometimes. But I think there's a different issue, which is listen to like the conversations we've had. You can't really solve this by going and just doing a project where we're going to redo 2 floors if your portfolio is big. So a lot of the time what they're looking to do is to make incremental improvements to their spaces overall. So I got this amount of capital, this amount of spaces. Sometimes I'll say, we'll help you invest the least to make your spaces, the most better. That's bad grammar. You get what I'm talking about here. Yeah. And so it means that commercial real estate folks, I see Marissa Huber on the call. She's one of the best. Interior designers and others might not need to think in terms of like this project anymore. It's more about the evolution of a portfolio. Mm-hmm. And so that impacts how deals are structured. It impacts how those relationships are formed. I've got a team that spends a lot of time with accounts just long term, just asking the question like, what does this look like? How might we pilot a few things? And there's a lot of emphasis on sharing good case studies that work because, and I want to be careful how I frame this, but a lot of workplace design now and historically has been built on speculation. This is what our people need. There's some senior person in the company that's like, yeah, that's what our people need. Well, if you ask me how my team works, I'd say go ask them. How the hell am I supposed to know how they work? It's evolving. And so you're going to spend millions or collectively billions and trillions on the speculation either of a senior leader who doesn't really know a lot about those work processes or what is just considered to be like best practice. That I don't think that works anymore. You can't just copy and paste floor plans from a fintech company in Copenhagen to a consulting firm in the Bay Area. So it means that collectively we need to get together and say, who are we helping, engage them. And I don't like to necessarily encourage organizations to ask their employees about the space. Don't ask them about what they want in the space. Just how are you working? How is it different than 2019? What experiences are well supported? What's not well supported? When you feel like you need to leave the space to do something, why? What is it you're trying to do? That provides the basis for like, okay, I think we know how to enhance this space the most. And there are some organizations that are being really successful with it, but it is still, particularly for large organizations, still somewhat nascent.